You know, in any union workplace, there's one person who's kind of the first line of defense, the lead organizer, and the go-to problem solver, all rolled into one. They are the key to a strong union. And today, we're talking all about the shop steward.
So, just picture this for a second. You run into an issue on the job. Maybe it's about your pay, could be a safety concern, or hey, maybe you just have a question about what the contract says. It happens to all of us, right? But in that moment, who's your first call? Who's really got your back?
Well, that person is your shop steward, and you gotta understand their position is totally unique. They're not just some representative. They are the central hub, the connection point between you, the other members, management, and the union itself. Think of them as the person right there on the ground, making the union a real, living, breathing thing in your workplace.
Okay, so what does a steward actually do? It's way more than just one thing. Their job can really be broken down into 5 essential duties that honestly form the backbone of a strong union presence.
A good steward wears a ton of hats. They're an organizer, a contract enforcer, a leader, an educator, and even an advisor. Now, all of these are absolutely crucial, but for right now, we're going to focus in on 2 that really form the core of their power, enforcing that contract and building up the union by organizing new members.
All right, let's dive into what many people consider the steward's #1 job, making sure the rights and protections you've all fought for are actually being respected every single day.
The term people use is policing the contract, and honestly, it's the perfect description. This is not a passive role where you sit back and wait. No way. It means you're actively watching, you're listening, and you know that contract so well that you can spot a violation when it happens and know exactly what to do about it. This is your first line of defense. So when a member comes to them with a problem, the steward's work kicks into gear. And it's not about jumping to conclusions. It's a really methodical process. It all starts with just listening carefully. Then the most crucial step, checking the contract. Is this actually a violation? From there, it's all about building a case, investigating, documenting before you ever present it. That structure is what turns a complaint into a legitimate, powerful grievance. And once that initial prep is done, the grievance moves into the formal process. This is where the case really gets solidified. It involves re-interviewing, checking facts all over again, and, so important, talking it over with other union reps to build a united front. See, this isn't just about one worker's issue. It's about making sure the union is presenting a strong, fact-based case before it officially goes to a supervisor.
And this right here is so crucial. Even when you're in a dispute, the goal isn't to go in and, burn bridges. This quote really highlights the need for professionalism. A good steward is firm, for sure, but also polite. Because that relationship with management has to continue long after this one grievance is resolved. It's about solving the problem, not creating a bunch of new ones. To make a grievance absolutely airtight, every steward relies on a classic tool, the 5 W's. Who is involved? Why is this a violation of the contract? When and where did it happen? And maybe most importantly, what specific settlement do you want? Getting these details down on paper just removes all the guesswork and transforms a complaint into a clear, actionable demand.
But look, enforcing the contract, that's only half the battle. A steward's job isn't just about playing defense. It's also about offense. And that means proactively building a stronger, more united workplace. It all starts on day 1 with a brand new hire.
I absolutely love this quote. Starting a new job is nerve-wracking for anybody. So the steward's role here is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Just be a friendly face. This isn't just a nice thing to do. It's the very first step in showing a new employee that the union is made up of people who support each other.
So, an effective program for bringing new members into the fold has 3 main goals. First, a personal welcome. Second, information. Here's what the union is, here are your rights. And third, education. Here's how you can be a part of it all. It's basically a pathway from being the new person to being an active, engaged member of the team.
And this isn't always just an informal chat by the water cooler. The process often includes more formal outreach, like a welcome letter that gets sent directly to the new member's home. This gives them something concrete they can look at, and by addressing the family, it sends this really powerful message. The union is a community that goes way beyond the workplace walls.
So, the crucial point is this. The company is going to give the new hire their first impression of the job, but the steward, they give them their first impression of the union. A good first impression can literally make the difference between a worker who just punches the clock and a lifelong active union member. So when you put it all together, the contract enforcement on one side and the union building on the other, you start to see that the steward is truly the keystone of the entire structure. Let's just recap how indispensable this role really is. Without them, the contract is just words on a page. To most members, the steward is the union. They are the face, the voice, and that vital link that keeps everyone in the loop and connected. Their performance directly shapes how members feel about the entire union.
Ultimately, a contract is just a piece of paper without someone there to enforce it. And a union is just a concept without someone on the ground building it day in and day out. The shop steward turns both of those into a reality. They are the foundation of fairness and unity at work.
And that really brings us to our final thought. The steward provides the foundation, that's for sure, but a foundation is meant to be built upon. They can't do it all alone. So the question to leave you with is, how are you going to help them build?